Shorthanded again. Kiara Perry's out. You had no Raven Short today. Given the shorter bench that you had, what did you think of the way your team competed and closed the gap a little toward the end of the game?
I thought at the end of the game, we played hard, especially Gabby. She's very passionate regardless of what the situation is, and I wish everybody had played till the end with the passion that she plays with. I was disappointed with the number of loose balls we did not come up with. There's two things that I talked about Tulsa. One, they can shoot the heck out of the ball. 1 through 4. The only people who can't shoot the 3 are the 2-5 players, and they're very, very scrappy. And we saw that. We got caught like a deer in headlights at times, just watching. And it frustrated me because 3 or 4 times we played great defense for 29 seconds, and then the last second, we lose our player or we don't finish it to the end. They come up with a really important shot at the end a couple times when we were making a run. And you got to finish plays to the end.
You mentioned Gabby and her competitiveness and her enthusiasm. It seemed like there were several times, regardless of the margin, where she made a basket and she had this emotional reaction. Where does that come from? Is that just naturally born in her?
She's tired of losing. She is a competitor, and that's the thing. I think what hurts us too, when you have so many young players are afraid to speak up. They're afraid to be emotional. They're because they don't think it's their place. And we don't have enough players like that can get after and be emotional. And Gabby got to the rim at the end. She got herself to the free throw line. Hit some shots. She had a lot on her shoulders at the end of the game.
A lot of coaches, yourself included, often say that a player's performance is based on more than simply the total number of points. But she did have a career high 19 points. Where did this rank among her best performances that she's had for you?
Gabby is not a prolific scorer. She's a transition type player, but I think she saw that she needed to take over at times, and that's what she did. She needed to be a leader on the floor, and she was looking more for her shot. I think what I liked is I want her to get to the rim more. Gabby wants to pull up all the time. She wants to shoot the jump shot. That doesn't get you to the free throw line. Getting to the rim does, and she did that a little bit better today.
You've talked this year throughout the season about the need for your team to take care of the ball a little bit better, and tonight it was a similar story. 12 assists, 20 turnovers. How much of it was what your guards were doing, and how much of it was Tulsa's defensive strategy creating those problems?
I think we picked up our dribble too much. I think at times we tried to make passes that weren't there, and we need to be smarter with the ball, and it starts with our point guards. Right now I'm not happy with our point guards' play. Like for instance, we called the timeout, and we called the play at it during a timeout, and Mo was trying to go to Keeley, but Keeley wasn't open. Well, you know what? She's not open. It's very simple. You don't pass the basketball, and it's just simple stuff. It's stuff like that. And right now, I think the biggest problem we're having is not having consistent players in practice. Keeley hasn't practiced in a week and a half. She only practiced an hour Thursday, practiced a little bit Friday, and it showed out there. She didn't. She was a non-factor today. And when we consistently don't have players practicing that we're counting on to play a lot, and when you have so many young players, you need those kids playing together. I got players playing out of position. We got post players playing guard because we got more guards sitting on the sideline. And hey, it is what it is. But it's you gotta find ways. And the problem is you call some plays, and we're trying to play Alicia a little bit at the 3 just to take some of the pressure off the other guards. But they don't. She doesn't know all the plays from that position, and you don't want to overload her. So we got caught one time calling a play, and at that time she was a 3, and it's like, oh God, Alicia's playing a 3 and not the 4. So those are the things that the normal person doesn't see, or the normal fan doesn't see, but that's sort of what has impacted us.
Stephanie Collins tied her career high with 4 block shots, including 3 in 2 or 3 minutes in one little stretch. How much does her presence, as she gets used to your system, having missed the first semester, How much does her presence in the back of your defense change what you're able to do on the defensive end?
Well, I've said this all along, is I really wish we had Steph from the start. And, you know, the thing about Steph is she's missed all our teaching. You know, she's thrown in preparation for games and scouting reports, but she's missed the teaching part of it. So she's had to learn on the run. You look at Alicia and Keeley, but especially Alicia from the post, what they do over in Australia, things are taught differently, and it's certainly officiated differently. And it's taken a while to get used to that, but most importantly, it's the teaching, it's the, you know, posting up, it's the reposting, it's the defensive positioning, it's all the shell drills you do and rotation drills you do leading up. And those are the things that probably, especially our players from Australia, they need that because it's different here. You know, the game is taught differently there.
You go to East Carolina next. Biggest keys to bouncing back on the road?
You know, I don't think we're any better at home. You know, we played the same on the road as we do. I think we play a little bit better on the road. I don't think, you know, us being on the road. I do think that East Carolina is better than their conference record. They've had some slip-ups in conference, but I think they're really a good team. They're very lengthy, they're very quick, and we're certainly going to have to take care of the ball against them. They got some good shooters as well.